Have you ever looked at a custom logotype and thought, how do they get those perfect proportions and clean vector shapes? Today I'm going to show you exactly how I designed the Condor logotype from scratch, using a simple grid system, precise vector techniques and a cool drop-down shadow. Stick around to see the entire process unfold. Hey, my name is Jan Ditters from Typeful, and on this channel I help logo and brand identity designers to make their design life easier by sharing my experiences and knowledge. And in this video you will learn how to create a structured custom logotype by first sketching within a grid, then vectorizing in Adobe Illustrator, and finally adding a sleek drop-down shadow also in Adobe Illustrator. Let's get started. So first, setting up the grid, the foundation of a strong logotype. So before we jump into Adobe Illustrator, I always start with a structured sketch. Here's how I set up my grid. First, I draw horizontal lines on paper to determine the X height of the letters. Then I add the vertical lines to guide the stems of each letter. With this grid structure in place, it becomes much easier to sketch out the logotype while maintaining balance and consistency. Step 2. Digitizing the sketch in Adobe Illustrator. So once I'm happy with the sketch, I take a photo of it and airdrop it into Illustrator. And here is what I do next in Illustrator. I make sure to recreate the grid by drawing horizontal and vertical lines on a separate layer. So I'm going to create another layer, drag this above the layer of the photo, and I'm going to call this grid. And I'm going to set the opacity of the photo to 50. And I'm going to lock the layer of the photo. And I'm going to select the line segment tool, and I'm going to drag the horizontal lines and give it a black fill color. I'm going to a black fill color, and I'm going to select the horizontal line and drag it with holding Shift and Option to the bottom downwards. And this way I'm going to recreate all the horizontal lines. Okay, then we want to create all the vertical lines. And I'm going to press on Command D to replicate the same step I have just made. So the thickness of the stems will be equal everywhere. And you see this doesn't align exactly with the sketch at the end, but that doesn't matter. Okay, so what we are going to do next, we are going to create a new layer. We are going to add guidelines to mark the middle of the stems. This allows us to construct the logotype with a single stroke. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to call this guide, and I'm going to drag lines in the middle of these two lines, and I'm going to give this a red fill color. Okay, and I'm going to add these lines into the guide layer, and then I'm going to do the same for these lines. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to the blend option, specified steps, and I set this to 1 and press on OK. Then I'm going to object, blend, and make. And this creates a singular line in the middle of these two lines. And I'm going to do this with all the lines of the grid to define the middle of the stems. And what I can do is I can also use Command Option B as a shortcut. Okay, so now I'm going to create outlines of the blend, so I can copy these lines into my guide layer. So I'm selecting all the grid lines, go to expand and press on OK. As you can see, now we can select all the lines in the middle. But we need to ungroup them first. Ungroup. Now I'm going to select all the lines in the middle. And I'm going to drag them into the guide layer and give them a red fill color. Okay, now I'm going to lock the grid layer, add a new layer where the logotype is going to be designed in. And I'm going to use the pen tool and I trace the logotype, keeping the lines clean and consistent. So with these grid lines in place, I can easily drag the logotype. And I'm going to adjust the line spacing of the stroke, the line thickness of the stroke, so I can see better what I'm doing while tracing the letters. So now we are going to select all the lines we have just created and increase the stroke thickness until the letters align perfectly with the grid lines. Okay, this looks pretty good. And I want to make sure we have the stroke cap set to round cap. So it creates these nice round ends where the stroke starts and ends. Okay, now we want to click on the direct selection tool, and we are going to round off the corners of each letter. Okay, this looks quite good. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to refine the letter spacing so it looks nice and compact and polished together. And I'm also going to create these intersecting parts of the O to connect the O with the N and the O with the R. Okay, so I'm going to select all the letters we have just created, go to Object, Expand Appearance, and then Object again and click on Expand. So now we have outlines of our strokes. In this way I can better create the intersecting parts of the O and the N. Okay, this looks quite good, and I can just duplicate this to the O and the R. Okay, this looks quite good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all the shapes, go to Window, Pathfinder, and I'm going to unite the shapes. So this is going to be the logotype where we are going to work with. Then the last and final step, step 3, adding the drop shadow effect. Now let's give this logotype some depth with a drop shadow. So what we want to do is open the appearance panel, and you can see we have a fill color over here. This is and for now this one is red. What we want to do, we want to add another fill color, which will be our drop shadow. We are going to drag it below the red fill color of the logotype itself, and we are going to add a black color to it. Then we are going to apply the offset path by clicking on Add New Effect, go to Path and Offset Path. As you can see, it creates an offset path to the logotype. We are going to make this 15 pixels. And as you can see, there is a small nick over here in the letter N. So we want to remove that. Press on the minus on the keyboard, and then we can remove this little anchor point, which creates that nick. We have the offset path, and now we want to add a transform effect to the same black fill color. And what we want to do here is we want to go to the move section, add 1 pixel on the horizontal part, so it moves 1 pixel to the right, and we want to add 1 pixel to the vertical part, and this adds 1 pixel to the bottom. And we want to add like a certain amount of copies. I'm going with 70, and this creates a nice drop shadow. And since this is done in the appearance panel, we can still adjust it. We can change the direction of the drop shadow. We can also skew the drop shadow a little bit, like this or this. But we are just going for scale to 100%, and we are going to add the horizontal to 1 pixel, the vertical also to 1 pixel. Press an OK, and now we can, for example, change the fill color to white, and now it creates this nice black and white logo with a cool drop shadow. And that's it. We went from a simple sketch to a fully polished logotype with a clean grid structure and a subtle drop shadow. If you found this helpful, please consider subscribing to this channel, and if you want to learn more about grids in logo design, please check out this video next. See you in the next video. Peace!